Hundreds of Jamul community members attended a meeting last night with County Supervisor Diane Jacob to oppose the 200,000 square foot casino being built on 6 acres of Jamul Indian Village land off the 94 highway in San Diego's East County. 3 lawsuits, including 2 against Caltrans, have been filed to stop the building. My guest, Michael Casanelli, is a member of the Jamul Community Planning Group who opposes the casino. Caltrans and representatives from Jamul Indian Village declined our request to participate in this interview, and I want to welcome you to Evening Edition, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Jamul Indian Village announced it broke ground on construction in early January, and they say they hope to have the casino finished by the end of the year. What are the community planning group's main concerns with this?
Our concerns of the planning group's concerns have always been the same. There is a tremendous number of environmental negative impacts that will occur both with construction and operation. But to just correct you real briefly, there's really only 4 acres, not 6.5. And this is the 3rd time in the years that they've broken ground to start this casino.
And I wanted to also correct myself. They say it's going to be done by the end of next year, not the end of this year. Let's talk about this. This proposed 200,000 square foot casino, its location sits along a stretch of Highway 94 that's considered dangerous by many people. Caltrans approved a plan to add turn lanes, traffic lights, and a median. But one of the 3 lawsuits to stop, or 2, I should say, of the lawsuits to stop the casino being built is against Caltrans. Now, I understand you're not part of that lawsuit, but can you tell me why the county and Jamul community members are suing Caltrans?
Caltrans is not following California law. California law says that Caltrans must perform a California, a CEQA, California Environmental Quality Act, and before any major constructions. They made the people across the street from the village property, including a fire station and a development, pay a lot of money, cut a road to Melody, could not access 94, the line of sight's bad, and Caltrans is not performing the CEQA. They're not following the law. And
when it comes to the environmental report, let me get a word in from Raymond Hunter. He's the chairman of the Jamul Indian Village. Declined our request for an interview for this show. Instead, he sent a statement that says, in part, the lawsuits by the county and a citizens group can accomplish nothing more than overturning a sensible plan for traffic safety. And if they are successful, we will have no other option but to use existing access roads for our hauling operations that require no encroachment of public right-of-ways, but unfortunately will result in our trucks traveling straight through downtown Jamul. What is your response?
To me, that sounds like a bullying technique. We're talking maybe 25 trucks an hour, 11 hours a day for a year and a half. And their traffic management plan, not a CEQA, says that they can handle this traffic with 2 flagmen and some signs and sending out brochures.
And that's for the building?
That's for construction. Mm-hmm. And that's what they didn't go to CEQA. They just issued they said this will handle the traffic. And it's ridiculous. Even intuitive judgment would tell you it wouldn't.
I want to move on from there and talk about another federal lawsuit with the Bureau against the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which claims the Jamul Indian Village doesn't actually have the right to build the casino on this land. Why wouldn't they have the right?
Again, according to federal law, there was an Indian Reorganization Act that gave the right for Indians to utilize property that is put into land to trust to have gaming. There has been disputes across the United States about that, with some tribes wanting to have gaming. It went through the courts. It went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, which was an 8-to-1 decision that unless you were a recognized tribe in June of 1934, You cannot put the land in the trust, and without land into trust, you cannot have a gaming casino.
So I want to get Raymond Hunter's response to that again in a statement. He says Jamul Indian Village of California is a federally recognized sovereign nation. JIV has the immunities and privileges available to other federally acknowledged Indian tribes by virtue of our government-to-government relationship with the United States of America. Now, what is your response to the idea, or people saying comments that your opposition or community members' opposition to the casino has to do with the tribe or gaming?
Well, we're not against the Indians. We would be against any commercial establishment of that magnitude on that piece of property. You notice that Mr. Hunter didn't, they said they were recognized, but they weren't recognized in 1934. And just 2 weeks ago, there was a decision at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals when Big Lagoon Rancheria sued the state of California over a gaming compact. And the state was saying they don't need to do that, and the courts backed the state up. They were not recognized in 1934, the Big Lagoon Rancheria, and therefore they cannot have one.
And that is the argument which we will have to follow up later with because we are out of time. Michael Casanelli, thank you so much. For more on the casino and next steps, go to kpbs.org. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.